I'm Dr. Ryan DeBell from The Movement Fix. Welcome back to Movement Fix Monday. What I want to talk to you about in this video this week is a better way to stretch your pecs or your chest. So I'm not talking about a better single stretch. I'm talking about a better overall way to look at the idea of stretching and improving range of motion. So what I'm going to show you first is a technique to reduce the tension in the pec muscles. Now, I'm just going to use a green lacrosse ball, and what I would do with this is, a lot of times, like, there's sort of this awkward situation of, like, you're trying to roll out your pecs on a wall, and your, like, face is smashed up against the wall. Instead, or it's, other thing is, like, you do it on a beam like this, and you're trying to roll it out, and it slips off the beam. Instead, if you just take the ball and just hold it here and just use your other hand to lightly massage your pec, that's an easier way to do it. Because I'm not doing this as aggressively as possible because I'm trying to get the muscle tension to reduce. I'm not trying to break stuff up, so I don't need to go really hard here. So I would go about 10 to 30 seconds of this each side as sort of my tissue prep. And then after that, I want to do essentially an unloaded stretch of the pecs. Now, I have my shoulder model here for use that I'm going to talk about here in a sec, but here's the general setup of how I'm going to do this. I'm going to take the arm that I'm going to work on, or the side that I'm going to work on, and put it up here so that I'm above 90 degrees. And then I'm going to think about peeling apart my shoulder blade. So this would be my shoulder blade sitting like this. And my rib cage. So think about me as being a canister, and then this is this like separate floating thing. And so I'm going to twist my torso this way, and I'm going to think about taking my shoulder blade in my brain. This is what I'm thinking. I mean, you may not be able to do this so accurately, but the intention is critical. So I'm going to be thinking about, my arm would be up here like this. This going this way and sort of like that, and then my chest or my torso going like this. So it would be here, elbows in contact, my hand is kind of gripping but it's relaxed, and then I'm actively pulling my arm this way. You can't see it because I'm in contact here, but I'm actively pulling this that way as I turn my chest open, and you should feel a stretch through here. You shouldn't feel pain in the back or front of your shoulder. If that does happen, just change the angle of your arm or go down like this and find a way so that you feel it as stretchy through the chest. So I'm going to do reps of this. I'm going to go 10 reps where I'm turning this way, pulling the arm back, 1, 2, 3, etc. I would do 10 each arm, and then I want to do some sort of a loaded stretch. Now there's two paths that we can go down with the loaded stretch. You can do dumbbell flies, or you could do what's called a stretch push-up. Both of these exercises are actually ones that I've been doing a lot of in John Russin's program, but I want to show you a little preview of both. Let's start with the fly, and if you can't do flies in your gym or your box, do the stretch push-up, but if you can do it with the dumbbells, like, flies are not a bad thing because it's essentially a loaded pec stretch. So let me turn this so we can see. I'm doing this with light weight. I would start here like this, and essentially what I'm going to do is kind of crunch my ribs down. And then I'm going to think about keeping a little bit of a bend in my elbow, maybe 110-ish degrees. And I'm kind of pulling my shoulder blades together in the same motion that I did on the rig. And you may even want to do this, if it bugs your shoulder to do this, obviously don't do it. But you may even want to have more of like a vertical forearm. And so again, this is very light, but it is loaded stretching of the pecs, working them through a larger range of motion. Now again, if you can't get away with doing pec flies at your gym, there's the stretch push-up. Again, another one from John's program. A lot of people do this with parallettes too. I just took a 45-pound plate and a 15-pound plate, stacked them up. And then you can just do push-ups here. Because it's a deficit, you get a little bit more of a stretch. Now this may be too low for me. I'd have to elevate this up. But again, it'd be a way to work the chest or pecs through a large range of motion loaded. Personally, if I was doing this as a way because I wanted to loosen my chest up, loosen my pecs, they're tight, I would go for the pec fly because, well, if you did both, I think you'll understand why. It feels a little bit more stretchy, and this is a little bit more strength-based. So anyways, that's where I would go if I was trying to stretch out my pecs. Rather than just doing a static stretch and just holding it, I want to reduce the muscle tension by using the ball, do some sort of unloaded motion, and then do a loaded stretch, accentuating the negative, as John puts it. So that's what I got for you guys this week on Movement Fix Monday. Make sure to follow me on Instagram @the Movement Fix and subscribe on YouTube. I'll see you guys next week.